In June of 2016, German tourist Lars Mittank was visiting Thailand with his girlfriend. They had been traveling together throughout Asia since April and were planning to leave Thailand soon and travel back home. But while going through airport security at Suvarnabhumi Airport, Lars mysteriously vanished and has not been seen since. While there is surveillance footage of Lars walking through the airport before he disappeared, no one knows where he went or what happened to him. Let's take a look at the puzzling case of the missing man and all of the bizarre details surrounding it. On June 27, 2016, 34-year-old German national Lars Mittank arrived at Suvarnabhumi International Airport in Bangkok, Thailand, with his girlfriend, 29-year-old Audrey Carey Maurer. The couple had been on vacation for 3 months, traveling around Asia together. When they arrived at the airport, they were checking in for their flight to Frankfurt, Germany, their first stop on the way home. Checking in for the flight was a very routine part of their trip, something that they had done many times before. But something strange happened when they put their luggage through the security scanner. One of their bags set off an alarm. This meant that the bag had to be searched by security personnel. Lars and Audrey were also subject to manual searches themselves, which is standard protocol whenever a bag sets off an alarm. All of these security measures were caught on camera. There is a lot of surveillance footage from the airport showing Lars and Audrey making their way through the airport. This footage would become the last time anyone saw Lars alive. The footage shows Lars and Audrey calmly walking through the airport, seemingly not worried about anything. A little while later, the video shows them waiting for their belongings at the baggage carousel. Audrey's bag came out pretty quickly, but Lars's bag did not appear. They waited at the carousel for about 5 minutes without any sign of the bag, so they decided to move on. This meant that they had to go through immigration without Lars's bag. In the footage, we see them approaching the immigration area. Lars gives the officer his passport and some documents. He then turns to Audrey, who is holding her bag and waiting for her passport to be checked. Lars and Audrey look at each other, smile, and wave goodbye. After the couple said their goodbyes, Lars walked through the glass doors leading to the international departure area. He never made it through those doors. When Lars didn't come through the doors on the other side, Audrey became concerned. She waited for him for a few moments, but he didn't appear. Worried that something had happened to him, she went to the immigration officers and asked them about his whereabouts. That was when they told her that he had never made it through the doors. Security immediately launched a search for Lars, but he was nowhere to be found. There was no sign of him anywhere in the vast airport. To make things stranger, security reviewed the footage and saw that Lars had simply vanished into thin air. He just disappeared after walking through the glass doors. This was a busy airport with hundreds of people coming and going every minute. If someone had kidnapped Lars, you would have thought that he would have tried to fight back or make a run for it. But in the footage, Lars is seen walking calmly and confidently through the airport. It didn't seem like he was scared of anything. Adding more fuel to the fire, surveillance footage from the airport showed Lars walking back towards the immigration checkpoint. But instead of going back the way he came, Lars took a different route. He bypassed the metal detectors and the security checkpoint and walked right through the yellow tape that marked off the secure zone. How did he get past security? It is important to note that at no point in the footage does it show Lars taking a bag or suitcase with him. It is believed that the bag that set off the alarm contained nothing but his clothing and personal items. It did not contain any electronics or items that could have potentially set off an alarm. Even if he wanted to, he could not have taken his bag with him because it was being held by airport security. All of this raises questions about why Lars left his girlfriend, why he bypassed airport security, and most importantly, where he went after leaving the airport. In the days following the incident, Thai police claimed to be stumped by the case. They admitted that they had no leads and were baffled by Lars's behavior. His girlfriend, Audrey, refused to believe that Lars would abandon her. She even went as far as to say that the German embassy had pressured her into filing a missing persons report. She did not want to do this because she was certain that Lars would come back for her. However, he never did. In the months after Lars vanished, Audrey moved back to Germany and tried to pick up the pieces of her life. However, she still holds out hope that Lars will turn up one day. She claims that the German embassy did everything they could to help her, helping with the paperwork and even booking a flight home. In the beginning, the German government called off the search for Lars, saying that he might have slipped through the cracks due to a miscommunication between the German and Thai authorities. It was only thanks to the efforts of Lars's parents that the case got reopened. His mother and father traveled to Thailand to take over the search efforts. They hired their own team of investigators and plastered the country with pictures of their son in hopes of finding him. A representative of the family said, "We don't know what happened to him. We are doing everything to find out. Of course, we hope he is still alive. The question is where he is and what he is doing there." Despite their best efforts, Lars has not been found. There are so many unanswered questions surrounding this case. Where did Lars go after he left the airport? Why did he leave his girlfriend behind? And most importantly, is he still alive? In the years since Lars vanished, many theories have popped up. Some believe that Lars escaped the airport and is now living somewhere in Thailand under a new identity. Others believe that he is dead and his body was never found. There are even some who think that Lars staged his own disappearance. What is the truth? Well, sadly, we may never know. Authorities in Thailand claim to be stumped by the case and have basically given up on finding Lars. They have not released much information about the investigation and have not given any updates on the case in years. Some conspiracy theorists even believe that Lars was a spy of some kind and that his mission was compromised at the airport. This theory seems a bit far-fetched, but it is possible that Lars could have been working undercover. Lars was a talented martial arts expert and served in the German army for 7 years. It is possible that he was trained in hand-to-hand combat and espionage. Before disappearing, he worked as a financial consultant in Germany. But what about the footage showing Lars walking calmly through the airport? If he was a spy, why wouldn't he try to make a run for it when he realized he was in danger? One thing is for sure, if Lars was kidnapped, it wasn't a random act of violence. The fact that he was able to bypass airport security undetected suggests that whoever was after him knew exactly what they were doing. It's possible that Lars's disappearance was part of a larger plot involving international espionage or even terrorism. Another popular theory is that Lars accidentally wandered into a part of the airport that he was not supposed to be in. He may have stumbled upon something that he was not supposed to see and was detained by airport security or worse. It's also possible that Lars was abducted by human traffickers or that he fell victim to foul play by strangers. With over 1,000 tourists going missing in Thailand every year, it's not hard to imagine that Lars could have fallen victim to one of these crimes. But there is one piece of evidence that doesn't add up. Surveillance footage shows Lars walking calmly and confidently through the airport. If he had been kidnapped, why didn't he try to escape or fight back? Was he drugged or under the influence of something? The answer may never be known. Lars's case remains open, but it may be growing cold. As time passes, it becomes less and less likely that Lars will ever be found. Sadly, there are many cases like Lars's that never get solved. Sometimes the truth is too dark to handle, and sometimes there are too many conflicting stories. Whatever the reason, there are some mysteries that will never be solved and some cases that will never be closed. This was the incredible story of Lars Mittank, a German tourist who vanished without a trace from an airport in Thailand. The case remains unsolved to this day, and there are more questions than answers. What do you think happened to Lars? Let me know your thoughts down below, and if you enjoyed this video, please stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching.